phone.
It was nearly 1 month ago that Indiana met Evansville in the preseason NIT in New York City, and it was all Indiana early. But the Aces shot 59% in the second half to take the lead. Then Andre Patterson shot the buzzer, sent Indiana to the finals. The rematch today. We are live from the RCA Dome in downtown Indianapolis as Jim Cruz's Evansville Aces come in at 5-5 to tangle with the 13th ranked Indiana Hoosiers, coached by Bob Knight. They are 9-1. Hello everybody, John Laskowski and Ted Kitchell, and it was less than a month ago that these two teams played each other at the NIT preseason tournament in New York City. Indiana won it by a point.
Barely. Indiana won. It's a game Indiana probably should not have won. They had control of it. They let Evansville come back. And you can see Indiana on Andre Patterson. He scored 20, but the two that were most important, he scored with only 3 seconds left.
All right, Indiana comes onto the floor. Evansville to follow. Let's take a look now at the Sunoco fueling factors.
For Indiana, inside defense is going to be very, very important. Indiana did a very poor job of defensing their inside people. Evansville much smaller, but if you give up the inside defense, they're going to score points. Also, Indiana really needs to push the ball up and down the floor. The more shots that are taken, the more rebounds that are available, the better off for Indiana. For Evansville, they've got to play relaxed. Since playing the IU game, they've went 2-4. They've not been in tune on the offensive end. I think today you'll see a nothing-to-lose attitude, and they're going to play very, very hard. And also, they've got to get to the free throw line. When Evansville gets to the free throw line more than their opponent, they're 5-0 this season.
Cocaline and Sunoco are teaming up to improve your drive, dollar by dollar and mile by mile. We'll be back with the starting lineups after this.
Making it to the pros takes a certain level of excellence, the experience to get the job done right, and a reputation for quality. Like top-quality CarQuest shocks and struts, professional technicians choose CarQuest gas-charged shocks and struts because they can be confident they're installing the best ride around. So for the best possible performance, install what the pros install. CarQuest. Welcome to the pros.
Every day, millions of customers count on GTE people. GTE quality. GTE reliability. So if you think telecommunications have only complicated your life, there's one company you can count on for help. GTE. Amazing.
Dodge cars and trucks have followed a very straight path this year, straight up, with sales climbing to all-time highs on practically every Dodge we sell. And with the Dodge year-end event offering substantial cash back or low interest rates or other exceptional deals, there is simply no telling what heights the new Dodge will reach. The best Dodge sales year ever ends very soon. Don't miss it.
If you're 55 or older and would like to save money on your auto insurance, auto owners can help. As a safe driver, you may qualify for our special 55 and over discount rate that can reduce your premium and possibly increase your coverage for the same amount you're paying now. To see if you qualify for the 55 and over discount rate, call the No Problem people today.
Jim Will Insurance, Pemberton Insurance, and United Insurance.
Evansville and Indiana at the RCA Dome. Let's take a look now at today's starting lineups.
For Evansville, you can see junior Chris Hollander, who had 14 points against Indiana in the 2-point loss. The other starters, Stuart Sullivan at another guard, at center Kareem Richardson, Emmy Morales, and Chris Quinn. for Indiana, Andre Patterson, who hit the big shot against Evansville. He'll start at one forward. You can see he had 20 points earlier this year. Neil Reed at one guard, along with Michael Lewis. A little bit of a switch. A.J. Guyton sitting down to start this game. Jason Collier at center. And the other forward, Charlie Miller.
And those are the Papa John's starting lineups. Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients and better pizza. Bob Knight ready to visit with his team just before the tip-off, which comes up next.
Car so loud you can't hear your favorite tune? Your neighbors know you're coming home 5 minutes before you get there. You need a new muffler. The staff at Muffler Express have been keeping things quiet in the tri-state for 11 years with quality mufflers and quality service at prices you can afford. So unless you've got more money than King Midas, see the guys at any Muffler Express location for great service at an affordable price. And don't forget to ask us about our brake service.
Number 33, Mark Robertson. At center, number 7, Richard Dublin. Right wing, number 24, Jerry Lowe. Starting lineup.
Maybe your kid is the next Wayne Gretzky. Maybe he isn't. Until you know for sure, why not buy him some less expensive used equipment at Play It Again Sports?
This Indiana University basketball game is brought to you in part by St. Mary's Healthcare Services, Rich Evans Ford, Vintasia, Kenny Kent Auto Plaza, Auto Owners Insurance, M&M Auto Service, Dart Automotive, and Martin's Auto Service.
Outset, except Evansville, and they 1-0, but every other game, the other team has scored the first basket. How do you think that affects the start of a game?
Well, I think it's important as the season goes along. You know, they're going to be playing better and better competition. You get into the Big Ten season, and I think you have to get off to good starts. And in listening to Coach Knight talk last week on his show a little bit, he talked about this team's going to have to be a team that starts better. He says, you know, we've been able to come back. You know, we've been doing some good things in the second half, but we're going to have to start putting two halves together. And that also includes the first 5 minutes of the basketball game or the first 5 minutes of the second half. You've got to get off to good starts if you expect to be, you know, be in the game.
Coach Knight 3-0 against Evansville. Greets Jim Cruz before the game. Serious look on Coach Cruz's face. 12th year at Evansville, a very respectable record. And I tell you, he was a heck of a teammate to have on your team. Start as a freshman at Indiana on a Final Four team. Indiana's had a very good record against the Missouri Valley Conference. And we're set to go. Evansville in their purple, and they've kind of got the throwback style jersey, Ted, that Jerry Sloan, Larry Hughes wore back in the early 60s. There's your Big Ten officials, Eric Harmon, Ron Grissom, and Paul Jansen. And we're ready. Andre Patterson is ready to tip with Morales.
Even though Evansville isn't as big as Indiana, look for a very, very physical game this afternoon.
And the tip won by Evansville. They've got the first possession.
See, Sullivan goes right around Indiana, able to block the shot. Andre Patterson really came up and helped Indiana. Not in very good defensive position, but you can see Evansville looking to take the ball to the basket and get to the free throw line.
12th block of the year for Patterson. Here's Miller. There's an aggressive move. Tipped by Reed. And Evansville comes away with it.
Good move by Charlie Miller. It's nice to see him get to the basket.
Richardson off from the three-point line, chases it down.
Evansville coming out not looking to run a lot of offense. They're looking to get that ball up on the board as quickly as possible.
Morales, a wild pass thrown away. First Evansville turnover. And talking to Steve Bennett, assistant coach for Evansville, he wants his team to be more aggressive. He thinks that's why they're on this three-game losing streak.
That's why I think you'll see a very physical team, because you're going to see a very aggressive Evansville team. They're going to go after the ball. They're not going to let Indiana get position inside. They'll be fighting through screens.
Charlie Miller, second shot of the game already. It's off and a good shot. And a foul on that rebound. It's going to go on Collier. He draws his first.
Charlie Miller's got 2 excellent looks at the basket. The first time he's got a layup, he missed that. That time he's got a 10-footer. Those are shots that if he's going to be in the offense, he's very important, but he's got to get those shots down.
Still no score. 1 minute into the game. Indiana switching at the guards on that screen. Charlie Miller now on Sullivan, and Sullivan now has it.
Hollander really hurt Indiana early in the year. Great strength inside by Morales. Good pass by Chris Hollander. You'll get a chance for 2 at the free throw.
Hollander was all tourney at the NIT at 14 against Indiana. Following it up with 14 in the consolation game. Patterson tried for that block, draws the foul.
Evansville has a lot of the guys that give Indiana a lot of problems. That 6'5" to 6'7" foot range. You know, they've got good quickness, just enough quickness that the bigger guys can't quite handle them. They're too big for our smaller guards to handle. They're the guys, when Indiana talks about how important Charlie Miller is to this team, these are the people that Indiana talk. You know, that's the reason they talk like this, because Charlie Miller is a guy that has to get in there and guard people that are 6'5" to 6'7".
Collier, that rebound. Morales now just 5 of 9 from the line. Miller again shot off. Patterson tips it in.
Charlie Miller, once again, excellent shot. Got to start knocking those down, but Andre Patterson, Indiana's going to have a big advantage on the board. As long as they continue to go to the offensive board, Indiana should get some excellent rebounds.
Good post that time, Chris Quinn. Andre didn't feel that it was touched by an Indiana player, but the possession stays with Evansville. Michael Lewis, the start outside for Indiana on Richardson.
The other thing is, I think you'll see A.J. Guyton in the game quite a bit. It's a game that really suits him pretty well.
It's a flare screen and got an open shot for Hollander. It's off.
Now that's what I like to see. I like to see Charlie Miller bring the ball right up the floor. He's 6'6". He rip it off the board, take it right down the floor. It's a very, very poor passing angle right there. It's just really difficult. The only way he can get that ball to Andre is maybe if Andre pushes off and gets position, but there's just not much room in there.
Andre, a smaller player on him, that really wanted that pass, but it's a turnover.
Indiana sometimes not very patient offensively, not looking to go in and out. You can see Quinn get it blocked inside, but good. You can see the main thing for Evansville is they're getting the ball inside, and they're going to get chances inside.
That's a good example. That's a turnover, but Patterson did a nice job. You don't slap at that ball. So many guys slap at the ball, and they get called for a foul. But see, Quinn's in trouble here.
So he hooks him there right there, and he gets it out in front of him. Patterson just kind of slaps it. But it's going to be very, very physical. You can see down inside, you know, Evansville really taking position away from Indiana so far.
Morales draws a foul, trying to battle Collier. There's Jim Cruz on the sideline. Morales is 6'7", 242, so he's got a real challenge in the bigger Collier, his assignment.
Seeing Collier letting him push him out of there right now, that's one thing you can't do. Once you get the position, you've got to hold the position in there.
Miller through the lane. Evansville wanted the 3-second call.
Plenty of time, 10 seconds on the shot clock. You can see Evansville really, really playing some great defense out there. Down to 3, 2.
Traveled. Said travel before, it would have been a shot clock violation. Second turnover. Evansville only gives up 61 points a game, and we have just passed the 3-minute mark with no score in this afternoon's game.
Take a look at Coach Cruz, and he has to be very happy with his defense right there. Evansville really getting down and playing tough defensively, and that's where Indiana misses a guy like Guyton, as Sullivan fires from the 3-point range. But Guyton is a guy that can really create a shot when Indiana gets in trouble. Shot clock gets under 4 or 5 seconds. You know, he's a guy that can find a shot.
Sullivan off on that shot. And Alder picks up the foul on the rebound, so Indiana has still a chance. The score is 2-0. The scoreboard here incorrect. Indiana got a basket on a rebound from Patterson. but they still haven't got a score here.
Also interesting, that's Neil Reed's first shot. Remember, he had 30 the last time out against Santa Clara, and you can see Evansville doing a nice job not letting Neil Reed handle the ball.
Miller's the one who's been aggressive offensively in getting the shots for Indiana here early. Here's Reed.
I think that they feel like if there's one guy on Indiana's team they want taking shots from the outside, it's probably Charlie Miller. He's gotten 3 or 4 shots already in the first 4 minutes of the game. They do not want Neil Reed and Andre Patterson handling the ball.
Similar technique to what Indiana would use, but Charlie Miller is a guy who would explode for some points at 25 in a game last year. Here's a hold on Richardson outside with Lewis, so Evansville really racking up the team fouls here early.
Yeah, the problem is they are doing a lot of hand checking. Not that everybody doesn't do that, but they've been so aggressive on the defensive end, and now it's going to catch up a little bit, and they're going to have to back off of that just a little bit.
Collier on the inbounds play. Let's see.
I think if they're saying it hit the top of the backboard.
And out of bounds. The main scoreboard here at the RCA Dome is not functioning, but the 2 behind the baskets are working properly. They give Indiana the 2-0 lead. 4th team foul now on Evansville. You're right, both these teams playing some defense. Notice how the point guard's being pressured and the help that comes to the weak side, but Chris Quinn gets the first basket for Evansville.
Well, Jason Collier came over there. He came over nice defensively, but the one thing he didn't do is he didn't get his feet up or his hands up in the air as Neil Reed comes down, throws it to Michael Lewis when he's not looking, and throws it right out of bounds.
The score is tied at 2 each. You're watching Big Ten basketball on Creative Sports.
At Expressway Dodge, guaranteed lowest price means guaranteed lowest price. This sporty new 97 Neon with air conditioning and more, only $99.90. $99.90 for this sporty new 97 Neon. This is a fun time of the year, and fun is what Neon's all about. $99.90 for this sporty new 97 Neon with air conditioning and more. Many to choose from. You can shop till you drop, but you can't beat our prices. Expressway Dodge, no nonsense.
Located downtown, Robert John & Associates offers same-day appointments for those who have been injured in an accident. Know your legal rights. Call Robert John & Associates, 425-2718. No recovery, no fee.
On a holiday home improvement, the Tool-Time Wizards fly into a Yuletide blizzard.
Whatever it takes, I'm getting home. Could my friend and I sleep at your house and pay you money?
Perfect! 6:30 Monday on 44. Cable 10.
Wanted by lady romance writer at loose ends in the jungles of Colombia. One swashbuckling raider type for hire.
I ain't cheap, but I can be had.
Absolutely must be handsome. Also very brave and good with animals. Object, high adventure, and very big rewards. Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas are having the time of their lives. They're romancing the Stones.
Sunday at noon on 44 Cable 10.
RCA Dome where it's a 2-2 tie early. Take a look at Chris Quinn along the baseline. Now see Collier comes over. That's a 7-foot man right there. He doesn't put his hands up in the air and takes advantage of it. Then on the other end, you can see Quinn right here. To tell you the truth, I think that's a great no call. I mean, when you're running right together and all of a sudden you just turn around and fall down, I said that is definitely a no call. Good call by the officials not to make a bad call right there.
Going to see both teams low for a season's average. And tonight, even lower. Only one basket for each team. Outside shot. This is off. Collier with the rebound.
Good block out by Jason. Evansville continues to get good looks at the basket.
Tough pass there. 2 defenders, and Patterson nowhere to go. He even caught that pass.
Michael Lewis has got to give a pass fake, and then you either have to drive the baseline, take the little 10-footer, or you got to throw it back out to the top of the key. There's got to be somebody open as they're really doubling down inside on Patterson.
Inside, there's Collier. Reverse layup is good. Good pass that time by Patterson.
Very good pass. And good post up by Jason. He looked much more comfortable inside. Not wasting too much energy right there.
4-2, Indiana ahead. Miller now on the smaller Sullivan. Here's a post-up. Mismatch here as Hollander's guarded by Reed. Quinn again inside. Just can't get that shot away. Collier and Patterson really bottled him up. Evansville has it out of bounds.
Evansville's going to have to spot up outside the three-point line. When they get it down inside, if Chris Quinn can't move to the basket or if Hollander can't move to the basket real quick, then they got to pop it back out. And Sullivan, Richardson got to be ready to pop that three-pointer.
Sullivan on the drive. Reed slapped that one away.
Substitution for Indiana.
A.J. Guyton will check in for the Hoosiers for Michael Lewis. And he's become a crowd favorite here very early, Ted.
Well, I think his play has made him a crowd favorite. He's obviously a great player with tremendous ability.
Quinn again on the drive. Patterson doing a nice job to avoid the fouls. Turnover. Here's Reed. Patterson ran right into Collier, and Andre really hit that floor hard.
Well, it's one thing when you know the defender might be coming over under, but all of a sudden you can see Collier is on the side of the ball, and all of a sudden he turns and spins and goes back the other way. I think everybody's all right. Just caught him a little bit off guard right there, but the Indiana guys, you see, he turns and he goes, he thinks the ball's for him. That's the problem. If not, Andre dunks that ball. Coach Knight talking to Jason about, hey, it's a high-low game. Jason, you're the high man. You're supposed to stop here. Don't run down low where you're not supposed to be.
Andre seems to be fine now and stays in the game.
See, the one thing Evansville really wants to do offensively, look how spread they keep the floor, especially when they start their offense. They want to make Indiana guard the entire half court and try to use their 6'5", 6'6" guys and really use their quickness.
Marcus Wilson, number 5, now in the game.
They want Collier and Patterson to play defense every time down the floor.
Ball out of bounds. 4th turnover now.
They're saying it went off Sullivan's foot, but Sullivan does not agree. Feels like the Indiana player knocked it out of bounds.
Very low scoring, 4-2. Indiana leads it, and turnovers a big part of that. Each team now with 4.
3 seconds.
Collier tries to post up inside.
Now that's a good 3-second call. I mean, last week I was banging on the officials calling the 3 seconds. Now Jason, he tried to post up in there and he just stood in there for about 4 or 5 seconds. I think the officials are pretty good about giving you a little time to get out of there. But I mean, there was a chance to get the ball into him. I mean, he was the focus of the offense.
Morales inside. Collier moving his feet well. Let's see. And he's going to get called for a hold. Bob Knight staring down that referee because that's Collier's second foul.
Well, the one thing in Evansville, when they do get it, you can see right there, Jason's got pretty good position right there. They kind of get hooked right there. But the problem is you give up position down there, and if you let that Evansville player who's a little smaller, a little quicker spin on you and face up, then Indiana's going to have a problem as they call Morales for an offensive foul, screening on the other end.
Personal foul.
Away from the ball, and Morales picks up his second foul. Let's watch. Still moving there. Move that shoulder a little to the right.
That's a pretty tough call right there. I guess, the only thing you could say is, they expect you to give him a little space there before he kind of ran right up onto him, but that's really a pretty good screen.
Collier now way outside. Here's Miller. That lob pass goes out of bounds. Again, it's a tough angle.
Well, it's a tough angle, and that's back to the patience factor. I mean, Indiana has got to learn to swing the ball, swing it back, be patient. I mean, they get the ball, and they're supposed to get it in, and so they throw it in there whether it's there or not. And Morales scores 2 easy ones right there.
Good shot that time as Sullivan gave a good angle to make that easy basket, and the score tied now at 4. Collier is going to get called here as he knocked Morales down. Again, trying to post up inside. Now 3 on Collier.
That's his 3rd foul.
Mandeville was at the bench, at the scorer's bench, ready to come in. But before he could, here's the foul.
Take a look inside. Really a tough angle right there to get a look at it. I can't imagine that Jason hit him so hard to knock him off his feet, but he does have 3 fouls now.
Good step out that time by Andre. Stops the drive by Sullivan.
It's one thing Jason's going to have to do a better job of is see Evansville dribbling around, finally able to drive down the lane. But I live in Cincinnati, and the one thing Danny Fortson, one of the best players in the country, has had problems with all his college career is getting in foul trouble, and he's much more important on the floor. Great pass by A.J. Guyton.
Guyton saw Miller, and the easy layup gives Indiana a 2-point lead.
That's the type of thing I was talking about in creating shots. A.J. Guyton has to get out there. He has to penetrate. He has to create shots for Indiana. Patterson, a good step out, but then the recovery is always very difficult when a guy like Chris Quinn can really take it to the basket.
Drive by Sullivan. Morales with the shot, and a block as Neil Reed came over to try to get position. And he's called for the foul.
Number 5, Neil Reed, his first personal, the team's fifth.
Indiana did a nice job defensively of coming over. Evansville continues to work that same play. Our guard not able to handle their guard. Quick crossover dribble by Sullivan gets him into position. He feeds the baseline. Indiana comes over but does not get the charge. They call blocking.
Morales good on that free throw.
Take a look. You can see right here Neil Reed. The only thing was he was moving up into him just a little bit. He hadn't created his position. If he would have stood, he might have got the charge, but instead he was kind of moving up into him. That's probably where the official got him for the block.
Morales only 1 of 4 tonight from the line. Here's Patterson.
He's got a score down there.
Turning shot is good. I don't think Evansville really has someone that can stay with Andre. He just needs to get in his mind. He needs to score just like he did against Duke.
You see right there again the crossover dribble, feed to the baseline, same thing, and Indiana's going to pay for it. That time they got away with it, but Indiana's cannot let that happen. Evansville's going to go to the free throw line.
Shot fake by Miller, and now a trip as Hollander and Miller got caught with their feet. Second now on Hollander.
Well, that's one that you got to call, but it's really not much of a foul. You know, all he did was trip him.
Indiana leads it now 8-5. 11:08 left. You're watching Big Ten basketball on Creative Sports.
What does your bank look like? Your bank should look like Choices, providing you with a variety of smart ways to make your money go farther. Now Citizens introduces the Tax Break Loan, a great way to borrow money while realizing tax savings. Visit any Citizens bank or call 1-800-328-2620. We're leading the way by lending your way.
Leading the way, banking your way, Citizens.
What does your bank look like?
This is my first aerobics class.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice tights.
I just can't believe I spend this much to get tortured twice a week.
I work out most every day, but then I go to Ritzy's after class.
Doesn't that get expensive?
Not for what you get at Ritzy's. It's real affordable. Sizzling grilled chicken sandwich, hot steamed vegetables, crisp deluxe garden salads, meals by themselves.
No kidding. Ritzy's gives you all that?
Why don't you come with me after class and see for yourself?
Would you carry me to my car?
Ritzy's is really cooking.
Hey, you better watch out.
Mark just gave me my Christmas present a little early.
What'd he give you? And you better not cry.
Let me be Santa.
Oh, please.
Come on, I'm jolly.
When Rosie pokes St. Nick in the eye.
I know when you're sleeping and I know when you're awake, see? You step out of line one more time, you're going to wake up Christmas morning knee-deep in sweaters.
On the next Roseanne.
6 o'clock Monday on 44 Cable 10.
This game is a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated, and the use of the pictures, descriptions, or counts this broadcast without the express prior written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited. See some of the nice Indiana crowd here this afternoon. Indiana leads it 8-5, a very low-scoring game, which would favor Evansville, I would think. Ted?
I would think Evansville would want to keep the score down just a little bit.
Here's the lob to Patterson.
Great hands by Andre Patterson. Not the greatest pass, and Evansville really doing a pretty good job defensively down there, but Andre Patterson comes up with a great touch, able to get his hands on it and keep the ball in play.
6 points now for Andre. And again, Quinn gets the ball inside low. This time he is fouled. And we'll go to the line. That foul will go on Miller.
Evansville has yet to hit an outside shot. I'm a little bit surprised Indiana didn't just play in behind him and help it back in a little bit, but Indiana having a tough time inside. You can see Charlie Miller really gets him with the body. And the interesting thing there, Quinn posts up Richard Mandeville. Richard Mandeville's a 7-footer.
And that shows you how important it is to play defense before the ball goes to the block, because even a smaller guy can work in there, if not get the shot away, draw that foul.
Oh, I think the smaller guy is much more difficult to handle when he does get it on the block because of his quickness. You can see Quinn, he falls down again. You know, Andre Patterson is going to have to realize that every time down the floor, Quinn is going to try to fall down, which I think is a real cheap foul when he's trying to do that.
A.J. Guyton has it, but no shot. Now he goes to Miller, deflected out of bounds. And Indiana retains possession.
I mean, it's one thing when you've established position and a guy comes down and he runs over you. When you're running next to a guy and then all of a sudden he just jumps in front of you and you run over him, I mean, so far the officials have done a fantastic job of that.
Patterson, that's a three-pointer off. Mandeville is called for holding off as he tried to get that rebound.
Take a look at it right here. Here's Quinn running right here along with Patterson. Now he tries to jump in front of him again. I mean, that is just bad. I mean, the official ought to pull him over and say, hey, come on, let's play the game. You know, we're not out there to try to bump chests. You know, I mean, that's just a very cheap way of trying to pick up a foul.
Quinn will be at the line. Indiana now with 17 fouls. Let's see, Eric Harmon there may see some blood that they need to take care of on Quinn.
Quinn, an excellent athlete. You can see he's very, very strong. He's able to really give Indiana some problems down inside.
See him get a little help. Played for South Bend St. Joe, my old high school. Give you a chance to remind you that Monday night on Creative Sports, Indiana plays host to the Butler Bulldogs. And just 2 years ago, Butler beat Indiana 75-71, a big upset. So you know Indiana will be ready. That'll be at 8 o'clock right here on Creative Sports. So Quinn needs to be substituted for. Richardson comes in to take his shots. So 1-1.
I don't know for sure, but do you think Richardson shoots a pretty good percentage from the free throw line?
Well,
if you were guessing, Laz,
if I was guessing, I would. 7 for 9, 78%. So you're right.
Yeah.
Jeff Layden checks in.
That?
Played for Jack Kiefer right here at Evansville North. There's a look at Kareem Richardson, 5'11", senior out of Rantoul. And that makes it 10-8. Evansville still holding close.
Indiana to open things up inside. Indiana is going to have to hit some outside shots. Great look by Richard Mandeville right there. He's got a very, very quick release, and when he really gets squared up, he's a guy that can really shoot the basketball.
First two for Mandeville. Now 12-8 Indiana.
See, Evansville really takes the help away. They're going to call traveling.
They are, as Highlander thought about the three-pointer and gets called for the violation. 6 turnovers. Very similar style between these two teams, and when you throw those turnovers in, it really affects both of them offensively. Just under 10 minutes left now, first half. Indiana the 4-point lead.
You see, they continue to lay off of Charlie Miller. When Reed's got the ball outside the three-point line, as Reed makes a great cut, another good pass inside. Mandeville makes a great pass inside to Reed.
Indiana now working that offense, getting the shots they want. 6-point lead, biggest of the afternoon.
I'm a little surprised Indiana doesn't lay back off the ball a little bit and make Evansville hit a couple outside shots. You can see they continue to really put a lot of pressure their guards, and Evansville gets around them, penetrates, and is dishing off on the baseline and creating problems for Indiana.
Well, they're looking for that shot. Here's the drive, but again, Indiana's clogged the middle up well. Layden spins on Patterson and a foul. Andre hit him on the elbow going up with the shot.
Good move by Layden right there. Indiana kind of bails him out. He's going to have to take a shot that he really doesn't like. He's going to get 2 free throws.
Indiana, number 45, Andre Patterson.
It's a game Andre's got to be more aggressive offensively. You saw some tape from the Evansville game previously where he was able to do that shot fake, one quick step to the hoop, one dribble, and he's getting that layup.
Well, the one thing you know you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make sharp cuts, and you're going to have to really work your butt off offensively to get good shots. The last couple times down, Indiana has done that, and they've gotten good shots. When they go down and just stand and think they're going to outpower other teams, just because Evansville is a smaller team, it's not going to happen. Evansville is not going to give up the post when you're just coming down and thinking you're just going to get it.
Lead now is 4 for Indiana.
You've got to make good cuts, good sharp passes.
Patterson with the pass. But as he brought the ball down, it got slapped away, and a foul now on Richardson.
Got to be stronger with the ball inside. He got the ball inside. Richardson makes an excellent defensive play, getting back. Good spin by Andre. He's got the ball, and he's got to know that people are going to come in and slap it away from you. He slapped down on it, but he got majority of the ball right there.
So now both teams in the bonus. Although that was a shooting foul, Andre would be at the line anyway. And I think that's important, Ted. We talked about free throws. Every time Evansville shot more free throws than their opponent, they've won those 5 games. And when they've shot less amount of free throws, they've lost. Bob Knight on the Indiana bench.
Well, we know how important Coach Knight feels about the free throw, getting to the line more than the other teams. And Evansville, obviously, Coach Cruz feels the same way.
Andre gets 2 there. He's over 87% now at the line.
Again, notice how they spread out. It's really nice to see a team that really makes you play the entire half court.
The help, and that gives Richardson the wide open shot. And he hits the three-pointer. And the lead cut in half now to 3.
Long pass across court right there.
Miller had a shot, but passed it up. Here's Patterson. There's a drive. One dribble knocked away. Mandeville comes away with it, hits the shot from the outside.
He's an excellent shooter. Andre Patterson going to have to take advantage. Whenever Layden, he gets him out on the floor, he's either got a quick shot fake go around him, or he's got to go up over him. There's no way Layden can handle Andre Patterson.
See some of those big forwards in the NBA, Ted, who just sit out there at 15 feet, bang that shot away. That's exactly what Mandeville feeling it. And now Richardson fires up his second 3 in a row. He's got 8 points on the game. And Indiana's lead down to 2. Reed slapped it away, and it goes out of bounds. Not really ready for that pass. We've got timeout. Indiana had a 6-point lead. It's now down to 2. And Bob Knight trying to figure out some more offense for this Indiana team.
This Saturday's Powerball jackpot is an estimated $41 million.
What's the matter?
I'm a failure. I can't get these steak burgers to come out the same shape.
Is it a drink or a dessert? Well, it depends on how fast you eat your dinner.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
2 luxury car owners discuss the merits of their automobiles.
The Lexus is powerful. I like power. It's also luxurious. And reliable. Extremely. It also costs about $20,000 less than your S420. Are you all right?
The LS400, the finest automobile in the world. See Kenny Kent Lexus.
Back at the RCA Dome where Indiana leads 18-16. You see Richardson goes up strong, knocks down the 3. The next time down the floor, Evansville does the same type of thing. Spread the floor, penetrate, dish. Richardson comes up, shooting once again. He's got 6 points and 2 times down the floor.
And a chance now for Evansville to tie this game up, and they will. Easy layup by Lade. He set the high pick and then rolled right down the lane.
Great out-of-bounds play. Coach Cruz set it up in the timeout. Lade comes right off there and gets an easy layup.
A.J. Guyton open for three, and that is off. Reed knocks it out of bounds. So still sluggish offense for Indiana.
Well, I think they get to standing. When Indiana scores points, everybody's moving. Indiana gets to standing, gets to just trying to do nothing but feed the post because they know they're bigger, they know they're stronger, they ought to be able to post, so they stand and try to feed the post, and they get nothing done offensively.
All tied at 18. This is Hollander way outside.
Indiana has not been able to stay with the guards for Evansville. Continue to penetrate, drive around them. You can see Hollander drives around, gets another easy 2 points as he drives right around Andre Patterson. Indiana having trouble moving their feet on the defensive end.
And Evansville now has their first lead of the game, and it's by 2. Here's Miller, tries to drive to the right, and a foul. This one goes on Marcus Wilson. So Miller goes to the line.
Evansville, number 5, Marcus Wilson.
Take a look at it right here. You can see Andre kind of loses his feet. Hollander strong to the basket as Guyton tries to come over and knock it away. No knocking it away from Chris Hollander as he's able to put it in for easy 2 points. The difference between Indiana's offense right now and Evansville is driving to the basket, making something happen. Indiana having a lot of problems with that. Indiana's just kind of moving the ball around the perimeter, not really moving to the basket as Andre Patterson knocks down the 3.
He was waiting for that one. Guyton got him the ball, and Andre hits his first 3 of the night. And Indiana back up by 1.
See if Indiana continues to put a lot of pressure on the ball. Evansville wants that. They want him to continue to pressure the ball, and then they drive around and dish. Drive around, dish. What a call traveling right there. Sullivan knew that he did it. Coach Cruz is saying, go ahead and shoot it. You got the shot. Take the shot.
But instead, the 7th turnover. So now Indiana comes again. They know Patterson's the guy who can score. They've got to give him the ball in that scoring position. Let's see what they do here. Wild pass. He's deflected and stolen. 2-on-1. And Guyton's going to pick that foul up. Hollander going to the hoop.
Good steal by Evansville, but a very poor pass on the other end. I mean, there's nobody there. He travels, and then he throws it away. Hollander just steps out. It's right to him. Good job by Evansville, not putting the ball on the floor. That's the way the fast break ought to be run right there.
Like Guyton was trying to go to his left, and he actually did take 2 steps. Threw a bad pass away to the right then.
Well, they're used to seeing that fade move where the Indiana big man comes up screens and the guy kind of fades out. Evansville took that away and look before you pass.
And Evansville has the lead again on those Hollander free throws, 22-21. Patterson comes off a Guyton screen, and that foul, a push-off.
Evansville playing with a lot tougher. They're playing with a lot more intensity right now. We're going to take a look at the push-off right here. It's A.J. Guyton. It's just I'm going to say that's a bad foul because it's just right out there in the open. If you're down inside and you got 3 or 4 people down in there, you might get away with it. But when you're outside, there's just not enough people there. It's right in front of the official, and it's just not a very smart foul.
Michael Lewis checks back in, this time from Charlie Miller. Miller has 2 points, but found himself in scoring position much more often today. Here's Guyton. He's been great at the line. He made 20 of his last 25 now. Did not get the start, but has played quite a bit here first half.
Once Indiana gets into the 1-and-1, guys like Guyton and Reed have got to start moving the ball to the basket. You just can't handle the ball out front and pass it around. You got to move to the basket, create problems for the defense, and get to the free throw line.
Indiana by 1. 5.5 minutes left, first half. Good block out that time. Guyton's got it. 2-on-3. Keeps his dribble alive. Now looks for help. Andre there. That's way outside. Off. Tip is off. Boy, Indiana pounding the board.
Vanderbilt got it.
Vanderbilt came in from the outside.
Vanderbilt's got one hand up in the air and one hand down low, and the one hand down low, he just knocks, I think it was Richardson, he just knocked him right in to the basket there. Going to take a look at it at normal speed. Now watch Vanderbilt, he comes in right here. You can see one hand hands up in the air, but the other hand, he just knocks Richardson down. It's a good call by the official.
Third foul now on Mandeville. So he comes out. Robbie Eggers sees his first action. 6'10" junior in the lineup. And Evansville will be at the line. Looks like Richardson is getting some treatment there on the Evansville sideline as well.
I think he's got a contact lens that popped out.
So Mandeville on the bench. Number 3, John Reisinger in the lineup for Evansville, 6'5" freshman. It is a contact. There you see Richardson trying to get readjusted. So now 2 big men, Collier and Mandeville, both with 3 fouls on the Indiana bench. And Richardson ready to go now. We've got 3 ties, 3 lead changes, and if he makes both of these, that would be our 4th lead change. And he runs back over to the Evansville bench. Bob Knight asks for a conversation with Eric Harmon. Gives us a chance to remind you that you can go online with the Big Ten Conference and get stats and information on your favorite team and the Big Ten. The homepage is on the World Wide Web at www.big10.org. Org. You know what that's for? Organization. I knew what that was.
Big Ten organization.
Big Ten org. Org is a symbol on the web.
Coach Knight had a little talk with Eric Harmon. I'm sure he's talking about the hand pressure that Evansville's doing a lot of hand guarding down here on the Indiana offensive end, and I'm sure Coach Knight would like to see them get their hands off of people. We'll see. It'll be interesting next time down the floor. See if there's a call made.
Richardson hits both, and again Evansville has the lead by 1. Now Indiana spreads their offense. Guyton gets it back. Lewis outside. That 3 is off. Seen him float back a little bit on that 3-point shot.
Too much pressure right there. The guy was flying at him. He's got to get a shot fake, and because of it, Luke Jimenez is going to see some time.
Hollander, pretty good dribbler on the outside. Here Lewis comes to help. Double team. And Hollander takes it all the way in for the layup. Great offense by Evansville.
Richardson saw Hollander coming all the way, acted like he was going to dribble back out. Hollander just made a cut to the basket.
Guyton inside. Lewis. There's Patterson right there. Off. And again, Evansville comes away with it. Richardson up high for that board.
Indiana not getting the ball inside and continuing to take the long jump shot outside. Andre Patterson's the guy you'd think could dominate the inside. Evansville going to get caught with their heel on the line. Bad turnover right there, especially when the momentum's really moving your way. You really hate for something to stop it.
Reisinger steps there. Luke Jimenez comes in now for Lewis.
Patterson stopped by the bench, and Coach Knight, all I could see was him say something about he's getting tired of watching him shoot outside jump shots. Let's see if Patterson works a little harder to get defensive or offensive position inside.
Guarded by Layden inside. Here's Eggers. His jump shot from the outside is good.
Still not exactly the shot Indiana looking for, and I think a lot of it has to do with Evansville just doing a great job defensively.
Indiana now trails by 1. Evansville taking their time now.
Spread it out. Get a chance, take it to the basket. Here he goes.
My goodness, what a drive and a block by Patterson. Evansville wanted goaltending. And Patterson, they say, caught it on the way up and knocked it out of bounds. And we've got timeout. Indiana trails by 1. And you're watching Big Ten basketball on Creative Sports.
Berger & Berger, making a world of difference in personal injury law.
Hey, I'm Michael Waltrip, driver of the Wood Brothers Sit Go Ford Thunderbird. I appreciate good performance in a car, and I get that out of my NASCAR race car. And I also get it out of my Ford from Rich Evans Ford in Tell City. Good performance on the road, and also good performance when I went to buy my car. So go to Rich Evans in Tell City. You'll get 200% customer satisfaction and a great deal.
200% customer satisfaction and a great deal at Rich Evans Ford Lincoln Mercury Tell City.
Many times in life, little things mean a lot, like cute little dogs or a little price on a new car you might spot. Town & Country Ford has the littlest prices around. A 97 Explorer only $279 a month, and you pay nothing down. With any car purchased, receive a 19-inch color TV. Another little way to make you happy as can be. So come to Town & Country Ford. We'll welcome you in on Lloyd Expressway at I-164. Open nightly till 10.
Back at the RCA Dome. Let's take a look at it. There it goes. Oh, Laz, what was it? Huh? Come on, Laz. Make the call right there. We get a second look.
That's slow motion. That looks like that ball's coming down.
That's a goaltend.
But not the call. Evansville will get out of bounds. It's an advantage seeing it 3 times in slow motion like that.
Even seeing it one time in fast motion, I thought it was goaltend. I thought Coach Cruz had an excellent right.
Easy basket. Stuart Sullivan beats Guyton inside on the out-of-bounds play. And the Evansville lead now is 3.
Not only gets beat, but you get beat for a layup right under the basket. I don't understand how you can get beat for a layup. That's the second time Evansville's come out of a timeout, and they've gotten a layup.
Andre Patterson now out of the lineup for Indiana. Luke Jimin is in now, number 12.
You see Luke really not looking at the basket. I think you've got to look at the basket. Now he looks.
Shot clock at 3. Oh, what a shot. A.J. Guyton beats the clock with a 3-pointer.
Dagger in the heart to Evansville. You can see they had a chance to come down, maybe take a 5-6-point lead. Instead, it's tied.
Tie game. Sullivan and Guyton outside.
They just keep dribbling, and in a little bit they get an advantage. They go to the basket. Here they go, right
Morales.
there. Layup.
Tough shot there as he leaned back into the court and gives Evansville a 2-point lead.
See right there, watch out Jimenez when he catches the ball. He's not looking to shoot or score or take the ball to the basket. He's doing nothing but pass looking. Look, pass, pass, pass. You've got to make your defender play you. If you're not going to play you, he's just going to clog things up inside.
Double team, that's Jimenez' man. Now he shoots, and good for 3 as his man left. And he spots up for 3.
But all the Indiana guys outside are just kind of catching it, and they're passers. I think you've got to look 1 or 2 dribbles to the basket, then pick up. I mean, watch Evansville here on this end of the floor.
And a whistle inside. And this one goes on Hollander for Evansville. So Indiana will go to the line at the other side.
Must have been a screen, and then he came off the screen. I don't know if he screened and then he rolled out the outside. I didn't get to see it. I was watching the ball.
Talked about free throws important for both teams. Evansville has taken 14 free throws. This will be Indiana's 6th attempt.
Well, I think the more aggressive team is going to get to the line more often. And so far, Evansville has been by far the much more aggressive team out there today.
One of the keys to our game. So Evansville has a 10-5 lead at that free throw line, and still they're 2 points down. We'll watch that stat the rest of the game. Hollander with only 4 points here early, now on the Evansville bench. And Indiana leads it by 3. 1:40 left, first half.
Back to my point as far as Evansville, when they get the ball, I think their guys are looking to drive to the basket, create problems for the defense. Morales, he's looking either to score or to pass over here to Reisinger, excuse me. Watch Sullivan.
They reset, slapped away.
No, that's a bad call. That ball went off Luke Jimenez. That is right here in front of us. That's a bad call. It went off of Luke's foot and went over. It should not be an over and back. See, Cruzy not happy at all. Watch it right here. That is off Luke. That should not be an over and back call.
Turnover to Indiana. And again, a whistle this time.
Going to call hold as Neil Reed.
Beyond Morales.
Kind of just got Neil Reed running off screens right now. Nothing else that seemed to work very well offensively, getting Indiana shots.
3 now on Morales.
See, as he comes off there, you can see Morales just kind of catches him across the neck right there.
He'll clothesline. You see that in football some, but not much in basketball. Tough time to pick your third foul up, though. 1:09 left, first half.
And Morales has been very, very important inside.
Reed off on that first one.
Indiana's best free throw shooter. Not able to convert on the first one. You can see Evansville dominating at the free throw line.
And that's why they're in the ball game. Reed hits that second.
20.
And Evansville wants to take that 20-second timeout, but I think Jim Cruz is going to be very pleased with where his team stands right now.
Well, they've really struggled the last, I guess, couple weeks, two weeks. They lost to Butler. You know, ever since the Indiana loss, they've really struggled a little bit. And I think today they've come out here. If they put this type of effort forward every game, they're going to win a lot of games the rest of the year.
They're much more aggressive. That's what they wanted to see. Indiana, again, a slow start here in the first half. Offensively, only 34 points and some foul trouble, as you can see there. The big guys, the ones getting in foul trouble, so Indiana's had to come with smaller lineup here.
The thing Coach Cruz needs to bottle is getting his team to think they're playing Indiana every time they come out, because there's no way that they could have played probably this well and you know, been 2-4 the last 6 games they've played.
Sullivan on the drive goes right up into Jimenez and draws the foul.
Coach Knight not happy right there. I mean, I think what he's not happy about is he feels like it should be a no call. I mean, he's not saying it should be a foul on the other guy, but he's saying Sullivan is the one creating the bump right here. Luke really didn't jump up into him, but it's a good play by the offensive player. Good offensive players, they jump into the defense and create the contact.
Sullivan had 20 points in their Michigan State game earlier this week. He's off there, 6-foot senior. Cruz happy with what his team has done so far, except for those 2 missed free throws.
About a 15-second difference on the shot clock.
Cross screening inside low, and you're right, they're looking for Neil Reed as he comes off low screens from Miller and Eggers, and he hits the deck underneath there. Now he's posting up on Sullivan.
He's kind of just running rather than really setting up cuts and seeing what he wants to do.
Guyton, one dribble to the left, and off Miller rebounds and lays it back in.
Good play by Charlie Miller.
6 now for Miller, 15 seconds left, first half. Richardson slapped away. Layden forces the shot, steal by Reed, 6 seconds. Evansville now has it.
Don't want to foul.
Oh, shot draws iron.
He caught Ram
by Sullivan, but does not drop, and a well-played first half by Evansville. Indiana now leading it by 6 points as Bob Knight takes his team to locker. You're watching Big Ten basketball on Creative Sports.
Whoa! This time of year means great shopping and slippery roads.
Foul trouble, a big part of the first half as well.
Indiana had not had any problem fouling. As you can see, they've been very successful. The big men, 3 each for Mandeville and Collier, and Patterson has 2.
Morales with 3 for Evansville. Richardson and Hollander 2 each, and we're underway. Indiana has the first possession and the 6-point lead.
See what Indiana tries to do offensively. If they've changed anything, made any adjustments at halftime.
Same starting lineup except for Lewis. A.J. Guyton gets the start instead of Lewis.
You can see really pushing Collier down low. He really did a nice job. You can see Indiana basically taking everybody to one side of the floor. They're putting Guyton and they're putting Collier down low, and they're just going to play a little 2-man game until Evansville comes over and starts double-teaming Collier. I'm sure you're going to see that.
Bob Knight pleased with that first move by Collier as he got the ball, quickly moved to the hoop.
Jimmy Morales really leaning hard on Collier right there. I think Collier will be much more comfortable play now that Morales is out there. I think sometimes it's much more difficult for a big guy to play with a little 6'6", 6'7" guy on you than it is a bigger guy.
Morales picked up that third foul at 1:09 left in the first half, and now, the first 23 seconds of the half, he's picked up his fourth. Collier misses on both free throws, so Indiana can't capitalize. Now Evansville has the possession.
There's no change in what Evansville is trying to do, and you can see Collier, they're going to call a foul right here. They're going to call him for a push.
And that's his fourth, so just as we talked about Morales, Collier picks his fourth up, and Richard Mandeville will check in for him. He's got to be careful here not to pick that fifth one up.
It'll be interesting if we get a chance to see Richardson falls down on the baseline. Just how much of a foul Collier created right there. Great play.
Steal by Collier.
Got to watch out or he'll get number 5.
He goes right over Richardson, and he's going to get the hoop and a foul.